Welcome to Pemberley Farm. Well, it's Friday, so we're canning. And so what are we doing over the stove with no canning jars? Well, we're going to can Hamburger. This is Hamburger from our freezer from a cow that we bought a year or so ago. And so what I'm doing, it should have been a little more thought out, and you know how that goes. You take it out and you think you got plenty of time, and it didn't thaw completely, but that's okay. It'll do it. So what we're doing is we're par cooking it. You don't, as a general rule, I don't do it raw pack. I did originally, but you have a better product if you par cook it before you put it in the jar. Okay, you don't have to cook it like well done. Just par cook it, and to get, you know, like most of the pink out. And then what I do, you'll see, we're going to put it in the jar. We'll put some beef broth in with it, and it just ends up being a better product in the end if you do it this way instead of raw packing it. And our meat is par cooked. It is not done. I know it's hard for you to tell that, but anyway, there's still a tiny bit of pink in there, but it'll be fine. So what I'm going to do now, just so simple. I did not season it. Okay, I did not season it. No salt, nothing like that. It's just the meat. So what I'm going to do, let me tell you before I start. What I'm going to do is the broth I'm going to use is organic beef broth. Yes, I have my own beef broth that I canned, but I'm not putting that in this. I'm saving that for things I would rather have that beef broth in. And this is organic beef broth, and so I have no issue using this. Your mileage may vary, and that's okay. So anyway, we're putting it in. Also, wide mouth pints. Again, I've put it in regular mouth as well. It's just easier to get it out as far as meat. Most of all of the meat I can in a wide mouth jar, whatever size it is, but in a wide mouth. And we have our jar lids soaking. We've got our handy dandy debubbler. We've also got some white vinegar ready to wipe the rims with. Why white vinegar? Well, because even though this is a very lean meat, it still will have some grease in it, and so you need the white vinegar in case you get it on the rim of the jar to clean that jar off over water. Some things I just use water because there's no grease whatsoever, and water will take it off. But for meat, I always, or any meat byproduct, I always use the vinegar. Okay. So that's what we're doing. And before we start putting the broth in, we'll fill the jars first. Now this was 5 pounds of meat out of my freezer. The general rule of thumb is a pound of meat per jar. But that is not necessarily, I mean, once you cook it down, it's going to be a little bit less than that. So, but just as a, you know, that's just a rule of thumb, about a pound per pint, you know, give or take. Also, since this was a cow that we bought, you know, I don't know, I've not ever weighed the packages that the processor gave me back, so you know, they could be a little heavy or they could be a little light, so we'll see. But at any rate, the general rule is a pound per pint. Now, also, because I'm using wide mouth pints, they hold a little bit more than a regular mouth pint. So, do that, and we have to take that into consideration as well. So, anyway, when I get finished with this, because I don't imagine that you want to watch me film everyone, well, let's see. This maybe I miscounted. So also maybe maybe before I use up the last of this hamburger, I ought to weigh it and see if maybe this is more than a pound per package. Now I haven't beat this down at all, so that's 5 pints so far, and I've got a good bit of meat left. So we'll see. You know, I say that, and then it does different. So, but that is the rule of thumb. Okay, so we've got 7 wide mouth pints here. We've got some left over. So this makes me really wonder about what our packages were that I thought were a pound. So I'm gonna, when I go home, I'm gonna weigh one of them and see what it weighs. But that's fine. I did not, you know, just pack it down, but I did remember yesterday how I got the towel out here and I kind of beat them down. I did do that. And so, and that's all the packing I did. So anyway, whatever it is, it's going to be good. Now, how would you use this? Okay, I use it regularly because I regularly forget to take a package out of the freezer. And we just had some of our own beef processed, and I have a freezer full of burger. And so, but I am bad about forgetting to take it out of the freezer in time to use it. So what I do is I get a jar of this, and if I'm fixing spaghetti or tacos or burritos or taco chowder or goulash or whatever I'm fixing, I put it in the pan first and break it all up and kind of brown it. Like, it's done. I mean, by the time it comes out of the canner, it's done. But I kind of brown it up a little bit. And so that's how I use it. I'm sure there's a lot of other ways that that people use it. If you can your own hamburger and some way that I've not remembered to say, put it down in the comments below how you use your home canned hamburger meat. Now let me also tell you that you can can hamburger patties. Now, I've not canned hamburger patties, and so y'all may be my guinea pig on that. But I have canned sausage patties, and they come out great. And so that may be one of our canning videos later in the year, canning hamburger patties. But for now, we're just canning hamburgers so that, just ground hamburgers so that I can do spaghetti or whatever on those days, which are numerous, that I forget to take hamburger out of the freezer. Okay, our hamburger is out of the canner. It's still bubbling, it's still hot. They've all sealed even already except the one on the back left, and it has time to do that, no big deal. If by later in the afternoon it has not sealed, then I will take it and put it in the refrigerator and just use it. Sometimes that happens. There could have been a nick in the jar that I missed. There could have been a nick on the compound of the lid that I missed. So that happens sometimes. Also, we did have a little bit of siphoning on this, but not very much because all the jars are full. So I probably overfilled one just a little bit with liquid, and so that'll be all right. I wash the jars anyway before I put them away, and take off the bands and wash the jars, and then I mark them and put them away. So siphoning, if you don't know what siphoning is when some of the liquid in the jar escapes during the process. And so siphoning happens no matter how long you've been canning. From time to time you're going to have siphoning happen. So it's not that big a deal. And like I say, I think there was one that looked a little full, and I started to take something out of it and I just didn't, and probably should have. So anyway, not a problem. Thank you for coming along to watch our video today and learn how easy it is to can hamburger meat. If you have not subscribed to our channel already, please do so, and like our videos and share our videos. That's important too, that you share our videos. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are Pemberley Farm Homestead. So go have a look at us and join our page, and we'd love to hear from you. God bless you from Pemberley Farm.